She's back. She's back. She's back again. She's back. She's back. She's back again. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ansu and I'm here to talk to you all about the books that I want to read in April. Granted, I didn't really have the best reading months in the past couple of months, but I'm hoping this can be a good turnaround and I can actually get back into reading properly. Now mind you, this list is going to be very hefty and I have a feeling like I might not be able to read all of these books in the month of April. I really hope I can, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, while we're on the topic of updates, I got glasses. I feel very much the book nerd that I really am. I'm going to take this off because the glare is too much, but let's get into the books that I potentially want to read in the month of April. The first one I've actually finished a few pages of. I feel like I finished a couple of chapters of it, and it is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V.E. Schwab. This was one of those books that I was very close to pre-ordering. I almost did. Like, I got it right after it came out even. I was very, very thrilled about reading this book. But I started reading it and I started feeling a little bored, unfortunately. It's so disheartening, but I do want to know what the story is about. We have this girl named Addie Larue who is living in 1714 France, and essentially she's getting forced into this marriage that she does not want to get into. It's basically marrying this really old guy and she's like, I don't want to get married to him. What do? I'm going to pray to these gods that only listen to me at night. And she essentially prays to this god saying that she wants a good long life. She basically wants to be immortal and live as she pleases. Now here's the catch. Since it's a god of the night, they usually tend to twist your words and maybe even destroy your entire life. And that's something that happened to Addie Larue, and every single person that she meets from then on will forget her if they're not looking at her. So that means if they step out of the room for a second and come back in, they completely forget who this woman is. So this keeps happening to her throughout her life. It's been centuries, and in this present century, there's this one guy who kind of sees her and remembers her from somewhere else. So Addie Larue does not know how to deal with that because she obviously has not dealt with it recognition in a very long time, so she's trying to figure that out and all that kind of jazz. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, but I felt like it was very slow. That's why I didn't finish reading it, unfortunately, and I'm hoping to get into it this month and I'm hoping it'll be really good. Also, side note, the inside of the book is really pretty. There's like a crow indentation on here. I don't know if you can see that. I think it's very cute, but does she really like the book? Apparently not, so we'll see. Next up, this was actually given to me as a gift a while back from Darian Reads, and I haven't gotten to it yet, and I really do want to finish it this month. It is Where Dreams Descend by Janella. I've heard so many wonderful things about it. It has night circus wives. I actually don't know what it's exactly about. There's supposed to be like the circus where it's kind of like a game that they're playing, and if things go askew, someone is going to die, something like that. I'm not exactly sure what the plot line completely is. I don't want to. It's going to have a lot of whimsicalness to it. I don't know. It's supposed to be very exciting. Again, the inside of this book, bro, it's so cool. I love it. It's really pretty. So I really want to get to this book. I do have the audiobook as well, so I think I'm good to go, but yeah, this is definitely high up on my list to read in April. Next up, we have Moxie by Mathieu. This book, I've had it on my radar for the longest time, and I'm pretty sure there's a movie or a TV show or something out on Netflix already. And everyone's been talking about the book, everyone's been talking about the TV show or the movie, I forget, on Netflix. It's supposed to be very good. Essentially, we have this high school in Texas, if I'm not wrong, where these girls are really tired of sexist comments and, you know, these terrible dress codes, and also the fact that people think that the football team can never go wrong. People are just tired of it, and they start this whole movement against doing that, and it's supposed to be this rebellion of group of kids who are getting together to stop this whole sexist treatment, I guess. And they're called Moxie, and they're supposed to be these Moxie girls, and everyone kind of joins in with them. It's supposed to be very empowering. That's what I'm looking for, at least. And it's a very, very short book. It's like 300 pages tops. So I feel like I can actually get into it and finish this book next month. was going to sit next year, which is not a good thing. Hopefully I can finish it next month, and I'm just very excited to get into it. I'd like to finish this and then watch whatever is on Netflix and see how different it is from the actual book. So I'm super excited for this one. Okay, next up. This book has been highly recommended by Kay from Kay's Infinite Library. She has always talked about how much she loves this book, and it is Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. I hope I said that name right. I don't know. Like every single time I see that name, I feel like it's a tongue twister and I'm messing it up. This one is like a Beauty and Beast retelling. I really do enjoy Beauty and the Beast. I have read like 1 or 2 other story retellings of Beauty and the Beast, and I have enjoyed them in the past. So hopefully I can actually enjoy this one too. So we have this character who's getting cursed, this prince guy who gets cursed his 18th birthday by an enchantress, that he's going to relive his 18th birthday forever until someone falls in love with him. And obviously, Beauty and the Beast ensues. That's what I'm expecting, and someone has to come and break the curse, save the kingdom, and all that kind of stuff. And it's exactly like Beauty and the Beast, I guess, but there's more like fantasy elements into it. But I don't know what else is there that's going to be new, which is what I'm really intrigued about. Also, the next few books, like the newer books, and it's so pretty. It's red and green and it's so pretty. I want to own it, so I need to finish this, and hopefully I can get those other 2 books because they'll look really nice. I'm really looking forward to reading this Beauty and the Beast retelling. Next one is another short one. It is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. This one I have seen floating around. I've seen Haley from Haley and Bookland talk about it, and I thought it was very intriguing the way that she was explaining it. And it's also, again, 300 pages. The font is huge, so I feel like I would read it pretty quickly, so hopefully I can. Now, do I know anything about it? I don't, so let's read the synopsis together. So we're following around, I think, 3 different characters, and so Alex, one of our main characters, I think, knows a lot about violence because her older sister Anna had been murdered earlier on. I don't know, it sounds like she is into sinister things. She might have at least come close to violence and murdering, maybe, I don't know. And we have another character, Jack, who is like this high school jock kind of a person and valedictorian, like that kind of level, right? Jack is very concerned about the things that he did and what role he played in Anna's death, like that is Alex's sister's death. And we have another character who is the preacher's kid, and she essentially just got the taste of beer and she's missing her ex-boyfriend, all that stuff, and all of their lives come together. It changes their lives somehow. I'm not sure how it happens. That's the entire synopsis. I don't know what happens if they're going on a murder spree or if it's just, you know, trying to figure out what to do. That's it. Like, who knows? I'm in for a surprise, so I think that's gonna be a good thing. Or it's gonna be a terrible thing. I don't know really, but I'm really excited to read this one. I have heard really good things about this. This next book I thrifted because I saw Libba Bray and I kind of want to try to read it. I think this is the first book. So it is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I have read the Diviners series by Libba Bray and I really enjoyed it. So I have like really high hopes for this. I don't know if it's gonna be the same level of a story, but I'm still very excited about this and I'm hoping that it will turn out to be really good. So essentially we have Gemma Doyle, who was living in India and she gets shipped off back into, I'm pretty sure she gets back into England from India after her mother's death. Gemma has this peculiar ability to see horrifying dreams, and some of them actually do come true, so she's scared of some of the things that she has seen. This is set in the 1800s, so it is a historical book just like the Diviners series, and I actually like that. I have read a few books that are set in that timeline and I have enjoyed it. Especially with Libba Bray, she has this way of writing a little bit of horror, a little bit of romance, a little bit of everything, and it is supposed to be really fun. So I'm hoping this is also at least remotely as good as the Diviners, because then I would be really happy with it. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get to this. This has like 400 pages, so it's not super long, but it is still a pretty large book, so hopefully I can get into this one as well. Next up, I have a book that I have started reading a little bit of. It is A Man Called Uwe by Fredrik Backman. I have read like a little bit. I think I've read like 45 pages maybe. It is such a slow burning book. Like the first book that I picked up this year, and I couldn't get through it because it was so slow. It's a very cute story. It just gave me vibes of the Pixar movie Up. It just totally gives me that vibe. I think it's really supposed to be this very heartwarming story about this old man. He's like this really grumpy dude who's living by himself, who does things exactly as it is supposed to be. Like everything is so straightforward to him. He's a good character. I feel like it has a lot of emotion wrapped into this very small book, but I found this very slow burning. So hopefully I can like sit down and quickly finish reading this. But yeah, it's just very slow, so hopefully it can work out. So the next one I want to get to is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. This is a very short book, and it's supposed to be about emotions, essentially. Like every single person's emotions is kind of like driven into here, and it's supposed to be very nice. It'll make you cry. That's what I've heard, at least, and I don't know like what to expect exactly, but it sounds like a lovely book. And it's very short, so I feel like I can totally get into it, and I really do want to finish it. The audiobook is only like 1 hour, maybe like 56 minutes or something like that. It's so short that I didn't really read a synopsis on it. Like, I didn't see the point, really. So we'll see what it's like, and I'll let you know by the end of the month how it went. Next up, I want to read Skyhunter by Marie Lu. I have read Warcross and Wildcard, I think, by Marie Lu, and I really enjoyed both of them. Warcross more than Wildcard, but that is not the point of this video. So yeah, Skyhunter, I don't actually know what it's about. It's a fairly new book. Everyone's been talking about it, and I want to read it. This book sounds like there's a whole ass disaster. We have this federation that basically turns people into these things called ghosts, and they're supposed to be like mutant war beasts, and they're going to like destroy another nation called Mara. People from Mara essentially have these trained soldiers to stop these ghosts. They can't really do much because the population of the ghosts are really increasing so quickly. We have Talon Konami, who knows firsthand like how brutal the Federation is, because they kind of treated her mom and her badly and forced them to like seek asylum somewhere in another country, essentially, and they're trying to like fight off this whole Federation thing as well. So I think it's like overthrowing the Federation, essentially. That's supposed to be the whole series. I don't really know, but that's what I got from the synopsis, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. Marie Lu has this wonderful writing style that will keep you hooked for sure, so that's why I'm like really excited about this. I really want to get to it and see what she has to offer. Next up, I'd like to read These Violent Lights by Chloe Gong. I've seen this book a lot on like Scribd and stuff. There's a very pretty cover, and I just want to give it a shot. It's actually set in 1926 Shanghai. There's like a blood feud between two gangs that kind of control the place. Essentially, an 18-year-old Juliet comes to become the leader of one of the gangs, and on the opposite, the rivals that they have was Juliet's first love and also her first betrayal. It sounds like a fun story. It's obviously going to be a bit dark, at least that's what I'm assuming. And yeah, we're going to see what I think about this book, and I'll let you know again by the end of this month. Also, side note, I really like to read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. It is a huge book. I don't know or expect to finish the book in April, but I do want to get to it. A lot of people have read it, a lot of people love the series. I have read a bunch from Brandon Sanderson. And by bunch, I mean like 4 or 5 books maybe, and I have enjoyed them. So I feel like I can enjoy The Way of Kings as well, but it is a huge book and it's a lot of commitment. I don't know if I can get to it and actually finish it. Hopefully I can. It is still on my list. I'm just gonna like shout it out there just so I can hopefully finish reading it, you know, manifestation and all, so we'll see. Final book I want to talk about is The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This has been loved and talked about for so long, and I want to read it. It sounds so sweet. This house is supposed to be a refuge for like orphaned kids or something, and these kids have some powers and stuff. That's all I got from it. So it sounds like a lovely story that I would really enjoy, and I would like to get into it and see how it goes. This has been on my radar for a while. Hopefully I can finish it in the month of April. Actually, just kidding. I do have something else that I want to talk about. I am going to try to read my first ever manga. This is actually recommended to me by Rachel from Let Me in the Library, and it is Case Closed, or Detective Conan. From the looks of it, it's supposed to be mystery, which is what I asked, and Rachel gave me that recommendation. There's a lot of volumes. I'm hoping to finish at least a couple next month just to give it a shot, right? I would really like to get into manga because a lot of people really talk about it. I have never read a manga, so hopefully I like this. Is going to be so much pressure. If I don't like it, I'll feel like I failed so much. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I do enjoy it. But yeah, that's something also up on my radar and I'd really like to get to. Alright you guys, those are all the books that I want to get to in the month of April. I know it's a lot. and I probably won't get to a lot of these, but I'm really hoping that I can. Really are books that intrigue me a lot, so hopefully I can get to them soon and finish them and give you thoughts on them as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Until then, I'll talk to y'all in the comments. Bye!